chocolate Mysore pak. Once you eat this, you will go crazy. They are better than brownies. Whenever I get chocolate, from wherever I am traveling, my son is like, he grabs it, he holds it tight. Need to keep mixing like this to get the very, very good results. So at this point of time, we can add the paste of the cocoa, whatever we did, into this. You will be seeing a lot of these bubbles like things coming up. If you have somebody to help you, hold this, it's even more easy. You have this nice, awesome, the chocolate Mysore pak ready. Chocolate brownie. I get really excited about chocolate brownie, but today, we're going to make the same thing the Indian way by using besan ka atta and of course ghee, and this is going to be super. Of course, I'm going to use cocoa powder and we're going to make chocolate Mysore pak. Actually, it is favorite of mine because my son gets very excited. So whenever I get chocolate, from wherever I'm traveling, my son is like, he grabs it, he holds it tight. For me, stealing that little chocolate from him once in a while and eating is, that's what I do. And today, we're going to use the same chocolate flavor. And since we're going to make Mysore pak, and that too chocolate Mysore pak, so you cannot use the chocolate as such, so we're going to use the cocoa powder. In a lot of the sweets, cakes or anything, whenever they want something chocolate flavor, they add cocoa powder because it is cheap and you can play around with this. So for making Mysore pak, you have to heat the oil. So today, we are not going to make a soft Mysore pak, we are not going to make a hard Mysore pak, it is in between. So it is very tasty. What you need to do is, we are going to take 500 grams of ghee or any vegetable hydrogenated fats you can use any of the oils. The equal quantity of the solid stuff. So when I have the 500 grams of fat, I am going to take 375 grams of sugar and 125 grams of besan. So that is equal to 500 grams. In this, I am just going to use some cocoa powder to make it tasty. But I am going to heat the oil first. So before that, I am going to make a solution and keep this ready. I am going to add this at the end part because if I add the cocoa powder right from start, it will kind of give a burnt smell. In this, I am just going to add 1 or 1.5 ladle of this oil or ghee and then mix this and keep this ready. This is already looking good, but this is going to our Mysore pak. This is very simple. It's like dark liquid and perfect. This is all ready. We're going to keep it on the side and I am going to keep this ghee hot in another stove. So whenever I'm making the Mysore pak, I'm going to pour the hot ghee on top. As I've told you, before you add this besan, we're going to make a sugar syrup which is almost little thicker than the gulab jamun syrup. So first add sugar. You need to add just water, soak the sugar. That should be good enough. We're going to increase the temperature and then we are going to make the nice gulab jamun style sugar syrup. Then we are going to add the besan, that is the chickpea flour. This is nothing but the garbanzo seed flour. So this is what is used in many of the sweets in Indian cooking. Cooking of the sweets like Mysore pak, som papdi and all that, understanding the sugar is very important. Rest of the things is not that important. If you know how sugar comes to a caramelizing stage, in the butterscotch, how the sugar gets nice crackling. So to get that stage, the sugar reaches different temperatures and also different stages. In no other cooking, people have talked about stages as much as they have done about sugar. So sugar, when you keep cooking, it becomes a first soft string stage. Means a string will form which will break. Then a string which will extend larger. Then you will be able to make soft ball. Then you will be able to make hard ball. Then you will be able to make hard crack. Basically, it will become like a, the caramelized thing, which if you crack it, it will break into pieces. After that is the blackjack. Blackjack is what they use for a lot of coloring of cakes and foods, where they get the black color by cooking the sugar dark. Without burning, you get that stage. So we're going to learn that when we are cooking a lot of these sugar-based sweets. But today, we're going to bring this to a point of soft string, the string that breaks. So if you pull that, it should not extend, it should just break. You can see a small string-like thing is forming, but this string is breaking off. I think that should be good enough. This is the point where you make the gulab jamun. I'm going to reduce the flame and add the chickpea flour. the basin into this. Basically, I want to make sure that this dissolves well. So even if you want to whisk it, you can do it, but this has to mix without any lumps. You will start seeing bubbles, the big ones. That's when we're going to add the ghee. Keep mixing without burning at the bottom. Now what we are trying to do is we're going to emulsify our ghee into this mixture. Just how you emulsify oil into our mayonnaise sauce. So just look at this. When you put the hot oil, it bubbles. That is what will give a very nice texture to your Mysore pak. Keep doing this and you keep emulsifying hot oil back into this mixture. If the oil comes out and doesn't mix, there are so many techniques that you will start learning once you keep watching these videos. Keep adding this oil like that till the entire oil is absorbed by this mixture. The entire mixture will get really hot at one point where this will be full of bubbles. You bring this to a stage where you add this into a mold and this will all become like a Mysore pak. It is very simple. Need to keep mixing like this to get the very, very good results. Because you are pouring the hot oil, the flame underneath need not be that hot. So at this point of time, we can add the paste of the cocoa, whatever we did, into this. Be careful, I switched off the flame underneath. We're going to mix this along. If this becomes too dry, then we're just going to add some moisture in form of milk and then keep mixing it. So again, it will come back to that liquid stage. That should be good enough, and then keep mixing it really good. Look at this. This is come back, because it was kind of breaking. That means the moisture is gone down very low. At that point of time, I added a little bit of milk to save the mixture, but whatever the leftover oil, we're going to mix in this hot oil and now mix it very carefully, and the mold is all ready here and I'm going to pour this into the mold. You will be seeing a lot of these bubbles like things coming up, and then we're going to pour this into the mold, and trust me, it will set to become a nice semi-hard Mysore pak. Switch off the flame, pour this into the mold. If you have somebody to help you, hold this, it's even more easy. You can have a look at this. This will look like a brownie when it is done. We're going to let it rest for like 15 minutes. Then you're going to cut it even when it is slightly warm. Let it rest for some more time and then demold it, and you will have nice chocolate Mysore pak. It is not very difficult. You need to follow a little bit of instruction, but a lot of times people, they get a little bit scared when it kind of, breaks up and starts looking like a powder in the Mysore pak in the thing. That's when you can add a little bit water or just throw in some milk, and it will get back again into that nice cake mixture stage. And when you have the final bubbles, add the last part of the oil, it will bubble up a little more and then transfer it into a mold, and you will have very nice. This is going to be nice. It is not hard, it is neither soft, it is in between, it will just melt in your mouth. That is what we want in a chocolate, isn't it? Once you set it well, you have this nice, awesome, the chocolate Mysore pak ready. Cut it to the desired sizes, then we will unmold it, and you will have this beautiful looking chocolate Mysore pak ready to serve. Very easy to make. You have this chocolate Mysore pak basically with the cocoa powder, no real chocolate added in this. The taste is just awesome. So dear friends, once you know the basic recipe, you can play around with it. Now, we're going to make at least 10 different kinds of Mysore paks. So by the time you see all the 10, you will become an expert at Mysore pak. And these pieces have become nice. They are, not like, hard, but they are neither soft. They are in between. Excellent Mysore pak chocolates. Sometimes when you get really excellent Mysore pak, they literally melt in your mouth. These ones are just like that. They came out so perfect. Try it. And because once you eat this, you will go crazy. They are better than brownies. I am crazy about brownies. So without any nuts or anything, this is a very plain Mysore pak. My God, out of the world. Dear friends, make these varieties for your children and they will go crazy. My son is here and he's looking forward to taste a piece. So make it for your family and keep saying Varava, and every bite is heavenly.